What is a software? First, you need to understand, Umar, what is a program? Program contains or consists of instructions or commands, right? A program contains or consists of instructions or commands. Instructions or commands to perform a task. To perform a task, right? This is the simplest definition of program. So, software is a combination of programs. Software, it's a combination of programs to perform a particular task on the computer, right?
Yeah.
So, software, it's an intangible thing. Intangible means you cannot touch that. It's in this soft based because it's a software, you cannot touch it. In computer, we have tangible components as well. Tangible means all the hardware components in your computer, right? Means which
Yeah.
has physical existence, physical components of the computer, right? Umar, clear?
Yes.
Okay, software, without software, computer cannot do anything. For example, we have a computer, it's a brand new computer. Say, for example, this is a Dell computer. We just bought it, right? And it's just a
Yeah.
dumb machine, which means it has all kinds of, it has all kind of hardware, but how to interact with this machine, we need a software. We need a software, right?
Yeah.
And that software is known operating system. Operating system. It can be Windows 10, Windows 7, Windows 11. Android is your operating system, right? And Linux
Yeah.
is the operating system, so etc. etc. Right? So, in order to communicate with the computer, we must install the software in the machine. For example, this is the hardware, and say for example, CPU, RAM, ROM, etc. etc. Right? And
Yeah.
there is another layer over that is called operating system. It can be, as I said, Windows 10, Windows 11, and all that, right?
Yeah.
System software, right? And above that, we install different types of application on the top layer, and we call them application software. Application software, right? First, on the root, we have hardware like CPU, RAM, ROM, and over that layer, we have system software. I'll tell you later what are the categories of system software. Now you need to understand operating system. We have to install the operating system on the second layer, and on the top of the layer, which is the third layer, that is we install applications. Umar, clear?
Yeah.
Now it enables us to interact with the computer. So you say, for example, let me tell you now the types of software. Software, and then we have one type is operating system, and the other type is utility software.
Yes.
In software, as I said, operating system, let me make it more clear. It's a system software. System software has, just a second, let me make application software over here. Application software, and then we have in system software, we have utility software. Omar, clear?
Yeah.
Application software, it can be a photo editing software. It can be a computer aided design software. It can be a Photoshop, Illustrator. So that totally depends on your requirements. Applications, say for example, if you are an engineer, definitely you would prefer to install your own engineering software on your computer rather than medical software, right? So if you
Yeah.
are a computer engineer, specifically like on the network side, then you have to install some kind of network softwares or simulators, etc., etc., right? So that depends totally on user's requirement. Okay. So in system software, we have operating system, then we have, as I said, Windows 7, 10, 11, etc., etc., Linux, right? So these are the operating system which operates the components, which operates the overall functionality of the computer, right?
Yeah.
Whereas utility softwares are antivirus, defragmentation, backups, compression, firewall. Let me write it. Utility softwares are number one, it's a backup software. Then we have defragmentation software. We have compression software. We have antivirus software, etc., etc. Umar, clear?
Yes.
Okay. So by default, these software installed automatically when you install the operating system, right?
Yes.
I'll tell you every utility software in detail, right? So normally it comes with the operating system, or you can have like the third party software you can install, right? For example, if you like Kaspersky rather than Defender, you can also install that, right? So these are
Yeah.
the software available in your operating systems. Umar, any question up till now? Umar? Okay. So utility software. Utility software. Umar, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, Let me give you an example of utility software. For example, Umar, you have a car, right?
Yeah.
So definitely, you have to maintain that car by doing some activities like after a particular time for servicing, for changing of oil, for maintenance, for alignments, for its software, GPS system, etc., etc. Right? Umar, clear?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I can hear you. Umar, clear? Shall I repeat this one?
No, it's okay.
Okay, so we have to maintain the car by uh, scheduling its like service, changing its oil, the maintenance of engine, maintenance of GPS system, upgrading, updating of systems, etc., etc. Isn't it, Umar?
Yeah.
So it means uh, if you do not do this thing with your car, then with the passage of time, that the value of your car will be depreciated abruptly. Are you getting my point?
Yes.
Okay. Just like that, operating system, you have to maintain the operating system by using these utility softwares. For example, let's talk about defragmentation. Defragmentation. Okay. Say, for example, you have this hard drive, hard disk drive. When you save the data, that is saved on the different places. The data is actually fragmented on your magnetic disk, right?
Yeah.
So what happens after months, for example, like let me say a couple of months, like so you keep deleting different types of things, you adding things, you download the things, uploading, uninstalling, and installing the softwares on your hard drive, right? So we do these
Yeah.
activities on daily basis. Am I right?
Yeah.
So the data is actually fragmented on our hard disk drive. So that impact the performance of our hard disk, means it slows down the computer. It slows down the performance. It slows down the speed of the computer. So we have to run the defragmentation utility on our computer. When we run this utility, then what happens? This utility combines all the files in one places. So that actually defragmented the data, which is fragmented, which is like stored in the different places. Now it stores them, or we can say it or organize them in a proper way, right?
Yes.
Now CPU has a faster access because of this utility, because when we run this utility, it defragments the data and CPU can access the data quickly. sometimes the performance is noticeable after running this utility, right?
Yeah.
Okay, this is about the defragmentation utility, and the second one is backup. It's a backup utility software. The second utility is that is backup. Umar, you can schedule your computer for backup. For example, you can take the backup of your computer. Computer means you can even select folders, drives, or the data, whatever you like, right? So you can schedule it
Yeah.
like bi-weekly, monthly, or even on the daily basis, right? So you have to figure it out.
Yeah.
Sorry. So you have to dig it out this backup utility in your computer, right? So what happens by taking the backup? You can take the backup on the external drive. Backup can be done on external drive, which means you have external hard disk or SSD or USB, or you can even backup your data on clouds, internet cloud. Umar, clear?
Yes.
So backup can be like incremented as well. Incremented means, say for example, if you take the backup of your computer day before yesterday, so whatever the changes made between these 2 days, so that will be only backed up. This is what we call it incremented backup. Umar, clear?
Can you explain that again?
Incremented backup. For example, let me say you took the backup of your computer 2 days before, say for example on Sunday, last Sunday, right?
Yeah.
So now today is Wednesday. So if you take the backup again, it will ask you for the incremental backup. Incremental means the changes which is being done between after Sunday to Wednesday, whatever the changes you made in your data, only that changes will be backed up with the data.
Okay.
Umar, am I clear?
Yes.
मुश्किल तो नहीं है?
No.
Okay. The third one is antivirus. This is another utility software normally embedded in our operating system. Antivirus software. If you are using a licensed operating system, then we have what should I say? We have the legitimate, yes, antivirus software having supports and updates about the viruses and different types of malwares.
Yes.
Okay, so that actually, when you start up your computer, then antivirus automatically loaded on the background, right? Background mean in your operating system, it keeps on checking the activity of your computer. For example, if unintentionally you have downloaded, say for example, if you have unconsciously downloaded a script or program which was infected with the virus, then antivirus immediately detect that and warns you, right? So what do you want to do with
Yeah.
this thing? You want to delete it, you want to quarantine it. So that's totally uh, depends on users requirement, right?
Yeah.
So whenever you plug in the USB or some external device, so it scans the storage and find out the threat if there is any.
Yeah.
So you should be very careful, like we should keep on updating the antivirus because every single day we are having different kinds of threats, right? So we have to update the antivirus. And we should not never ever turn it off. The firewall and the antivirus, it should be turned on all the time. Turning off these two utilities means actually you are actually inviting the eavesdropper hackers or the cyber criminals to get into your computer system and exploit your system, right?
Yes.
Okay. Then it comes compression. Compression, we did this topic in chapter number 1. There are two types of compression, lossy and lossless. So in short, let me tell you, it's a software that gives you an option to compress the data, right? It is
Yeah.
another utility program which is embedded normally in operating system. Umar, clear?
Yeah.
And firewall. Firewall, 3, 4, and the fifth one is firewall. I heard about different kind of like students. They say that we have to install some games by turning off the firewall. I'm not a player, by the way, uh, gaming player. So I just advise them you should never turn off your firewall, right? Because there are some
Yeah.
pirated games which asks you to turn off the firewall, then the software, because it's a pirated one. So when you turn off the firewall, it actually means that you are just opening the door for everyone to get into your system. And then later on, they can ask you for the ransom. The software worms, anti-malwares, malwares. So invitation, that is not a good thing, right? And okay, what is the firewall? Firewall, it's a strong, what should I say, strong, it strongs your network, it strongs your premises. For example, this is your home and you are all family members are using computers. We are having a firewall on our router. So this firewall actually protects you from attacks, and you can even configure this firewall by allowing or blocking the different IP addresses, and even you can also block the web sites. You can have control of even MAC addresses. You can allow, you can block the MAC addresses by using firewall. Umar, any question? Can you hear me, Umar? Shall we proceed? Okay, so let me summarize. Utility software, it keeps your computer safe. It keeps it running your computer efficiently. That manages your files and application. These utility software, they help you out to manage the files and applications, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we are clear about system software, utility software. Oh, there is another one. Sorry, I forgot that. That is file repair software, right? By the way, I saw so many people using this file repair software of third party. Third party means from other company, right?
Yeah.
Umar, in file repair software, it attempts to correct issues and restore a file to its original working state. Let me write it. File repair software, file repair software attempts sorry, attempts to correct issues and restore it in its original state. More clear?
Yes.
Okay. So we are done with the backup utility. We are done with the compression, antivirus, defragmentation, and and what else left? Anti-malware. I guess this is it. Let me see the syllabus, please. It says application are run on the operating system run on the firmware, the bootstrap loader types is run on the hardware, including how understanding how hardware, firmware, and operating system required to run applications. Okay, okay, oh, sorry. Types of software and interrupts. Okay, system software provide the services, application software. Okay, now let's talk about operating system functions. The functions of operating systems. Functions of operating systems.
Yes.
I'm ready. Okay.
Yes.
Operating system, it operates all the activities of your computer. We know it, right?
Yeah.
So operating system provides you different types of function. For example, it manages, or I should say in simple words, say for example, we have this operating system and it can provide you uh, security. Security means security means you can have control over computer system by enabling a strong password on your account. You can have multiple accounts on your computer. For example, right now, if you are logged in your computer with the name Umar, even then you can have like some other accounts as well in one computer. So that is done through control panel in users and security options. Operating system provides you this security feature, right?
Yeah.
And operating system also manages your memory. Memory mean random access memory. Operating system make sure operating system, this is very important point I'm telling you. Operating system make sure that every program, every application should have unique space, unique space in RAM. If unfortunately or due to some reason, if at one place in the RAM, if two applications competes and tries to get the same space in the RAM, then your system will be crashed. Are you getting my point?
Yes.
अगर रैम में दो डिफरेंट एप्लीकेशंस एक ही स्पेस लेने की कोशिश करती हैं देन व्हाट हैपन्स द सिस्टम विल बी क्रैश सो ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम मैनेजेस योर मेमोरी it manages your memory locations, it manages your application software, which application should have how much space, that is done by the operating system. that is also managed by the operating system, right? So
Yeah.
device drivers, that is very important, device drivers, and there are user interface, and there are also input, output. Operating system also manages your input, output devices, right?